up, PF fam? This is Big Tone coming at you from Big Tone Productions, Beats and Feasts. Hey guys, you know what time it is. It's time for another cooking video. Today we're going to do something that's very, very heartwarming for me. I guess you could say stomach warming. But we're going to do just a good old-fashioned chicken pot pie. We're going to do it in the air fryer. And it should turn out great. It's a very easy recipe. So I know you and your family's going to enjoy this and love it. But if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, make sure you share it. And guys, I really appreciate everybody who's done that thus far. But let's get this going. Let's do some chicken pot pie. The ingredients are as follows. Of course, we got to have our chicken. I've got a couple chicken breasts and a couple chicken thighs in there. Dark and light meat, white meat. Then we got to have, I got some fresh cut up carrots, and I prefer to use the fresh ones, not the frozen ones. And I'll tell you why, is because the flavor is just a lot different. So I want to capture some of that flavor. I got one onion cut up. I got some potatoes here cut up. And I've already blanched these in water for about 5 minutes just to get them a little softer. Then over here I got some celery. So I got my holy trinity here: celery, carrots, and onion. Then you gotta have some butter for this. Some garlic. You know I can't go anywhere without garlic. I got one egg. That's gonna be for my topping for my pie crust. But then I got some parsley, some heavy whipping cream. I got black pepper, my pink Himalayan sea salt, of course. I got some pre-made pie crust. I'm gonna cheat and go ahead and use this. And then for some of my other vegetables, I do have frozen broccoli florets, and I got some green beans, and I got some frozen peas. So I definitely chose some of the other ingredients to be frozen. The carrots, I gotta have that flavor. There's a big difference between the frozen carrots and the fresh ones. So that's all the ingredients. It may seem like a lot, but don't be intimidated by that. All goes pretty easily. Alright guys, let's get started putting this together. Check, travelers check, cashier's check. Alright guys, so to start with, I'm going to put my butter in my pan here. I've got my Copper Chef stuff here. So you guys know I do enjoy that Copper Chef products. So I'm going to go ahead and put my butter in the pan. It's a whole stick of butter. My butter's pretty much melted all the way down here. So I'm going to add my onion. As Justin used to call it, onion. Add that to my butter here. Now right away, which I normally don't do, you don't really see me do this too often. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of garlic to this. I usually don't add it right away. The reason being is because garlic, it burns quicker than the onion will, but I'm not gonna get it to that point today. So we're going to mix that up in there real good. A roux is equal parts. Well, I don't want to say it's always equals parts, but it's mostly just oil and flour. So we got our butter in here, oil aspect. Got a little bit of flour. So I'm going to add a little bit at a time here. We're going to mix that in, and you'll see that the butter is going to absorb this flour. It's going to make it much thicker here. This is a thickening agent for your whole roux, or for your whole pot pie. Of course, you could use cornstarch. In this particular recipe, I don't want the cornstarch. I'm going to add just a little bit more. There we go. Now we're going to let this flour cook out because we don't want it to taste floury. Alright, so as you can see, I did add a little bit more butter, maybe a quarter of a stick of butter to it. It was a little tighter than what I wanted it. So I loosened it up with a little bit more oil or butter in this case. So you can see it's turning this nice color blonde. Hence the reason why people call it a blonde roux. But you can see it's tightening up, but it's not too tight. So this is going to be a great thickening agent for the whole pot pie sauce, I guess I should say. So to this, I'm going to go ahead and add right away. I'm going to go add the rest of my Holy Trinity. Here's my carrots going in. And my celery. We're going to mix this up in here real good. And of course it's going to get a little thicker. We're adding more to it. Now I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't know how I forgot one aspect of the supporting cast, which is chicken broth. And I'm using just this chicken broth here. I got it from the store. This is 4 cups in this container. So I'm going to start with my 4 cups. I may add a little bit more. Alright, so there's 4 cups. Now I'm going to add something else here that I totally forgot to add in the supporting cast segment. And we're going to add, once this gets hot, we're going to add a couple bouillon cubes of chicken broth as well. It gives it that extra tang to it. But we're going to let this get hot, come to a nice simmer, start to cook the other vegetables in it a little bit, and I'll add those 2 other bouillon cubes. As you can see, it's starting to thicken up pretty good here. Look at that. I don't want it too thick at this stage because I'm going to add potatoes to it, chicken, and that's going to help thicken it up. But in my ignorance, I'm going to go ahead and add my bouillon cubes, and what I did is I put them in just a little bit of water, just enough to cover the bouillon cubes, and got it really hot, and I'm just adding that in. So there we go. We let this cook down just a little bit. My carrots are getting there. Everything's about where I want it. So to this, we're going to add a little bit of cream, heavy cream, just to add some richness to it. This amount is going to be about a cup. That's going to add that nice richness to the chicken pot pie sauce. We're going to get that hot here in just a moment, and we're going to do a little bit of seasoning here. But before we do that, look at that sauce. Ooh, it's looking good. Looking good. Into this nice sauce, I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper. We're going to add our pink Himalayan sea salt. And we're going to mix that up real good. Now, I always say you got to taste your sauce. You got to taste all your food. So I'm going to give it a little taste here. So you can see where you need to add a little bit more seasoning to it. I'm going to add a little bit of thyme here. And I'm going to add a little bit of parsley. Little parsley. And after I taste it, I think it needs a little bit more salt. So we're going to mix that up in here real good, all those ingredients. Alright, I'm going to add my potatoes now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add my chicken right now. I'm going to add my potatoes last. Get my chicken in there. Like I said, I got dark meat and white meat in this. So now you can really tell the thickness of it, how thick it's going to get. Of course, it's going to get a little thicker once I add my potatoes. But at this point, I'm going to add the rest of my vegetables. They're frozen, or semi-frozen at this point. And I'm probably not going to need all of these, of course. A little bit of green beans there. A A little bit of broccoli florets. Not a lot. Save the rest of those for another day. Oh, look at that goodness. Woo! And we're gonna add our green peas in there. Not the whole bag, of course. And we're gonna stir these up in here. So you can see how thick it got. And I still got some potatoes to put in here. So you know it's gonna get thicker than this. So that's why when I was adding my flour to it, I didn't want it to get over thick then, at that point. Alright, so I got my potatoes here. And as I said earlier, I've already blanched these for about 5 minutes. Because the potatoes are the hardest root vegetable other than the carrots. But I wanted to make sure they could cook through in the air fryer. Alright, so there's all the ingredients in there. And let me taste this one more time. I want to see where my salt content is. Bear with me. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna need a little bit more salt and a little bit more black pepper. A little bit more black pepper. And a little bit more salt. And we're just gonna let this cook down for probably about 7 or 8 minutes. And then I'm gonna add it to my bowl. And we're gonna attack at that point, the crust. And I'll show you how I do that. But let me let this cook down for a little bit. All right, so here's my filling for the chicken pot pie. I let it cook down for a little bit. The vegetables have a little bit of resistance to them, but they'll finish cooking in the air fryer. So I'm gonna flip you over here to the dough and show you how I get that done. I got these pre-made pie shells in the frozen section of the grocery store, and these are almost the size that I need. So I'm not gonna have to do a lot to this. So I just put down a little bit of flour, put down my dough, and this is the dish that I'm gonna be using. So basically, what I'm gonna do is just turn this upside down. And I'm just going to trim a little bit off of this dough because I don't need it all, but I do want it to overhang the sides. So we're just going to make a circle about a 1/2 inch away from the edges, all the way around. And we're going to remove that dough. I'll use that for something else. And we're left with this. So, got a little flour on it. That's perfectly fine. Move that to the side. Over here, I'm going to go and get my filling. Fill this up, and then I'll put the dough on it, get this in the air fryer. So basically we're just going to fill this up. I'll probably end up making 2 of these because I got a lot of filling here, but it always goes good for leftovers at work. So the dough is very simple. There's nothing hard about this. We're just putting the dough on top. So it's just like this. Just pick it up, and what's left over the side, we're just going to crimp it down. That's all we're doing. Nothing special about it. Alright, the only thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut a little hole in the middle, just so steam can escape. That's all it's to it. Now we're going to go on over to the air fryer. I got my pot pie there, as you can see, in the air fryer. Right in the center. So we're just going to pop it in. And you guys are going, wait, Big Tone, you forgot the egg wash on top. No, I didn't. We're going to cook this for about an hour in the air fryer. About 50 minutes, maybe an hour. And then about halfway through, then I'm going to add my egg wash to it so we can brown up the crust. But let's go ahead and get this started. We're going to leave it on 360. Actually, I'm going to increase that. I'm sorry. I'm going to increase that to 380. and I'm gonna increase the time to 1 hour. 60 minutes. We're gonna turn it on. I'll be back in about 30 minutes. Put the egg wash on, and there we go. I got about 20 minutes left. You can see it's browning up nicely, but I'm gonna put a little bit of egg wash on it, and I'm just gonna pop it back in. Probably about another 10 minutes. And you can see it starts automatically for you. So I'll be back in about 30 seconds YouTube time. Alright guys, so here's the finished product. It's been about an hour in the oven, or the air fryer. So I did 2 of them. The one I showed you before and I filled up the dish. That one I put on and I had the temperature a little bit too high. So this is what these tutorials are for. So that one, the temperature is a little bit too high. The air fryer, cooks from the top down. So turn your temperature down a little bit. Maybe 330, something like that. So it doesn't burn or they can get extra brown like that one did. The other one turned out great. Put it in the air fryer. Turned out wonderful, as you can see. But you know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for that bite. Here you go. I'm waiting for this bite. I gotta get a little bit of everything. A little chicken, a little crust. It's hot, so I gotta be careful. Just what I was looking for on a nice, getting cold winter day. This is really gonna fill your family's stomach up nicely. Hey guys, wholesome food, perfection on the plate. Hey, if you liked the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. Make sure you share the video. And hey, this is Big Tone signing off. Peace.